Hello. Okay. I have a new stand with a light. I'm going to see how this works. Hopefully it's pretty good. Today I'm working on a Junco painting. It's a little dark-eyed Junco. He's in some pine trees. A little out of breath. I just fed the dogs. Okay, I'm pet sitting 3 German Shepherds, and they're so adorable. One of them's a Shepherd mix. The other one's your normal Shepherd or regular Shepherd. And another one is an American White Shepherd. And they are all characters. Okay, all I've done so far is map out with the foundation layer. Not even fully the foundation layer. I'm just mapping some things out here. The pine needles, I didn't draw them in. I did draw some of the branches, but not the needles. So I just went back with some watercolor to do that. And then I just put a base layer for the background so far. And I sketched the outline onto my paper and put in the basic shading. This dark-eyed Junco has a long ways to go. Let's see, what am I looking for? I need to add some dark in here. Now, for those of you that have been following my lives, I've been going live 3 or 4 times a week. And I'm doing this through the end of the year just to get used to being online with you guys here on YouTube. And then I don't know what my schedule will be like starting in January, but I'll set a schedule out for the first quarter of the year for you guys. It'll probably be a couple times a week if I can arrange it. Let's see here. Okay, I've mixed some black. I'm hoping you can see this. This is a little high for me, so let's scoot over. I want to make sure. I know what I forgot. I forgot my iPad so that I can see your comments. Let me nab that real fast. Okay, sorry about that. Here I come. All right, grab the iPad. Now, you can see I've laid the base layer in. I'm going to darken some areas. I need to touch up this edge here. And a few things. I use Winsor & Newton watercolors most of the time. Professional grade. If all you have is Kotzman student grade, that's just fine. Or any grade. I do recommend a decent brand though that works more like traditional watercolors if you're going to paint this way, because it will help you in your layering and blending colors. Let's see, I'm out of breath now, aren't I? Okay, I want to get some of my black that I've mixed myself. Now I use, doesn't matter the names, I use a group of blues, a group of reds, and a group of yellows, and 3 neutrals, which I will tell you, that's burnt umber, sepia, and burnt sienna. And this pretty much makes up my palette. I also have some white designer gouache. If you hear some clickety-clacks in the background, it's the puppies I'm pet sitting. I say puppies, they're all roughly 100-pound dogs, maybe a little more. But I'm just putting in some of the darks here because this is, I'm using a reference photo from Free References, Free Reference Photos for Artists. And it is on it's a Facebook group. And if that's the only reason you hop onto Facebook, then do it, because it is worth it. There are a bunch of wonderful photographers in that group, and they pop on. There's something outside they're barking at. They, sorry, I'm looking for our live. We are live, right? Why am I not seeing it? Joy, you channel. Yeah, there we are. Live. Okay. We are live, right? Let me turn the sound off. Okay. So anyhow, I'm pet sitting, and these guys tend to bark. Sorry about that. But I don't have a choice. Okay. I'm gonna on that a little bit. Let's see, up here under this branch, I want and a little up into just kind of mapping this out. I'm not being picky at this point. Feel free to hop over to my Instagram if you want to see the finished fox painting we did last week. It's at Joy Neasley Studios, the same as my channel here. Okay, I want dark down here. That's going to be a branch. So let's go here. One of the dogs doesn't stay too far from me. She is right here pretty much at all times. Okay. These, I'm just going to kind of soften those edges a little there. Now I will fill these in. There are a lot more branches that have to go on here, but I want to make sure I get some of that background in there. I think there's some over here too, lightly in here. Hey guys, y'all go play somewhere else. Albie, y'all go play somewhere else. I am recording. They're looking at me like, what'd we do? Albie, I don't want to hear you. Okay, I think that should. Let me get some of these edges in here cleaned up. That has it all mapped out, I think. Just throw in some of this. Okay. Now, I wanted, well, I was going to work on the little, what do you call these? The little leaves on the pine tree. But all that is wet. So, let me try to see this for a little bit. Wrong brush. Where's the brush I just had? What did I do with it? Did I eat it? Whoops. My palette fell apart. I had it apart earlier while I was adding gouache, and I guess I didn't put it back together. Well, must have rolled up under. Okay, let's get another one here. Now, I like using Princeton brushes. It's just what I'm using at the moment. I go back and forth on different ones. But I like the Aqua Elite brushes. They seem to hold a lot of the water and the watercolor. This is not. This is a cheap one that I'm just working out some of these rough edges with. Just because I want those a little softer. It's okay if it goes into the bird a touch. A lot of people think watercolor's touchy. It's not as touchy as you think. Okay. We have all that wet. I want to mix kind of a brown gray. Let's add a little yellow here to our gray. A touch of blue. It gives me a green gray. And we're going to add a touch of red. It should get me right in the gray-brown area that I want. I was watching one of these little guys outside under the bush yesterday. We get them during the winter. And even though it's not quite winter yet, we have had winter temperatures. So these guys are already here. And they are playing in the bushes. Albie. Out of all three dogs, why are you the one doing all the barking? Okay, I'm gonna darken that a little there. Now I have blue grays, brown grays. I want to add a little more blue in here now. And I'm going to touch that up with a little red to give it some violet. There we go. And I'm going to work on darkening some of these areas with another layer. I should probably change brushes. Let's go to this one. This is a liner brush, but it's not in the best of condition. I do like it though. My goodness, these dogs today. Some days they don't bark at all, and then turn on the camera, and there they are. Now, these lines are going to get covered up, but I still want to paint in the lines of the feathers. Albie! To make sure that if they show through later, I don't have to worry about the lines showing through because they will be just fine. Okay. Now I'm going to eventually have to go darker with all this, but for now, my reference photo, which you'll find on at the link below, just search Dark-Eyed Junco and it'll come up, or Junco. And on that group, but my reference photo is actually a little lighter. Birds tend to have regional differences, and I'm not sure where this one was. The bird itself is accurate, but I have noticed the coloring is not quite as dark as the ones we have here. So through the course of painting this one's going to get a lot darker. Almost a bluish charcoal. Let's see here. I'm just looking at my reference photo. I don't sketch in too much when I sketch. And my reason for that is I tend to draw with my brushes. Now, hey guys. Alrighty, let's pull in. Where is a little brush? Nope. Here we go. What is this one? It's a 5-0. You can get a little bigger than this. But I want to start the hint of detail here. And the looks of this bird is going to change as I paint, and each layer is going to look different. And it goes through an ugly duckling stage here. Let's see here. I think that was right there. And we have that there. Yeah, that's what that is. I kind of didn't go in with that. Let's lighten that up. Kind of blend that in with the background a little bit there. So I got a little overboard. When I was painting the background, I missed a spot. So, see how I'm just going through. Now each layer that I do of this is going to get so much darker, it's fine. Now this brush is not so stiff that it's going to tear the paper to get some of that black off. And I will eventually add more around that as we go. So I'm just going to blend it out for now. That'll dry on there. But you can see where I left too much white for the beak. And right there too. There we go. And I will blend that in with the background as I create the background. Okay, which brush am I using? I am left-handed, but I do paint with both hands sometimes. I try not to do that because I know it freaks people out a little. There we go. Let's see, right about. Yes, I know, I'm making noises. Brush noises is what I call them. This bird is going to look funky right now, but that's okay, because we are in the ugly duckling stages of this little guy. And let's see, I need a little more blue. A little more blue. There we go. Oh, that was probably too much blue. Okay. Okay, I want my brush strokes to go down. Now that's going to get a lot darker. as you can probably guess, that's the direction of the fur. The fur's going to go in the direction of his little head there, which was right there. Okay. I've noticed these blues take a lot more layers, kind of like the blacks. So I'm just going to keep going a little bit here. What did I do there? Okay. Alrighty. He's looking like a mess right now, just like he's supposed to. Alright. Get some of that blue. Now, if you look up a dark-eyed Junco, they're kind of a blue-gray, more grayish black. And it also depends on their region, 'cause the one in the reference photo is definitely not. But I know what they look like in our area. So that's all right. All right. There you go. I'm going to throw in some gray under here. Start getting that going. Probably need to up. When you start scraping around like that, it's time to increase your brush. Okay, let's see. How about trying to make sure I'm still going at least in the direction. Now, it looks like I'm scraping back and forth. I am not. I am lifting my brush and just painting in one direction there. I've painted one of these back when I was in the beginning of my painting career. And he was so much fun. I do love these birds. These guys, the Junco, dark-eyed Juncos, and the, what are they called? Fox sparrows are so fun to watch in the wintertime, especially in the snow, if you get snow in your area. Okay. And this is going to require a lot more layers. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to finish this with you guys, because I am flying back to Omaha this week. So I don't know how many days I'll have online that I can work on this with you, but if not, we'll do another one. There's not that many of you watching my channel yet. There we go. We will get there though, right? Let's see. No, that goes back here. Okay. Now I know that looks rather ugly at the moment, but it all has a purpose. I trust you, or trust me. Okay, Now I can't quite do this yet. It's still wet. Even though it looks dry, it is not. It is still cold to the touch. So I'm gonna let you go. We'll take a break here. Let this dry. If I can, I'll get back with you tomorrow. If not, it will be Monday. I'll try to sit down with you guys on Monday, and I don't know where I'll be in this painting, but we'll have it figured out. And you'll get to chat with me. So I'll see you then. You guys have a good rest of the weekend. I hope you're not out spending all your money on Black Friday.